And we're live, people. Deluded, I'm back again. I know it's still June, but happy new month of July. You know, with it being the last month of June, hope this month and this year so far has been great. Please smash the like button. Now it's a massively hot day in the United Kingdom, but the show must continue. If you're on Twitch, make sure you're subscribing with Amazon Prime. Big up you lot tuned in. And again, let me know your thoughts. Now you can see by the title, Romano, just as I've gone live, has said Arsenal have contacted the camp of Eze. I'm sure a lot of you would want Eze, or if you don't, let me know. Apparently, Gyökeres has been advised to skip pre-season. We're still linked with Sesko and Ékitiké. Rumors are rumbling. So yeah, big up you lot. Smash the like button, all of those good things, people. We'll get into all of that stuff in just a sec. Junior, hi, right back at you. Frank, come on, my guy. Valera, one love. As they all have alluded to, man. Big up the chat. Make sure you had a great weekend. Smash the likes as usual. And big up yourselves, man. Looks like Eze is happening. Listen, I'm not going to count my chickens until they hatch. I need to see Eze holding an Arsenal shirt. It's nice to see we've apparently contacted his camp and we're seeing the conditions of the deal, but there's a long way to go. And, you know, again, I'm not ecstatic. Oh, 1 second, people. 1 second. Put the charger in. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm not necessarily overjoyed or whatever about Kepa and Nordgaard and them, like Kepa, Nordgaard and Mascara, but I understand, you know, there's holes in our squad. I'm cool with them and rather bullish in that regards. I do think Zubamendi's a potential game changer, but I do think with the Zubamendi thing, we was told at the very earliest that was happening in January. We've been linked with him for years. I think it's nothing to do with Zubamendi. I just think fans are over it per se. Where the game changes are concerned, you might not think Sesko is one. You might not even think Gyökeres is one. But a game changer for us is a striker and a left winger, in which Eze can play in a bunch of positions as much as that. I need to see that. And how good would it be to see Eze? Well, it would be great to see Eze and Rodrigo. But let's just say Eze's come in. Personally, I think if you get a 27-year-old Eze, I can't see us signing a 27-year-old Gyökeres. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying I don't want that. But clearly our club care a lot about the resale value and stars of tomorrow. 27 is not 97. They've got many years. And obviously, you know, in this day and age, youth is kind to you, but in this day and age where you're still seeing Vardy still do it, Ronaldo still do it, many an old player still do it, how much do we go on about that? And 27, if you do it for 3, 4, 5 years, it is what it is. And I know financially it might not be the best of investment purely financially, but if they help us win stuff, it's great. But as I was saying, it would be nice to see Kepa, Zubamendi, Nordgaard, Mascara, Eze, and or a striker all in before pre-season, all in ahead of the season starting, man. So it'd be interesting, man. Like the stream, people. Big up AG. Eze is on smoke. Get him and Mateta. I don't think we're going to do the Mateta thing. I'm not against it. You know, Mateta isn't the worst. He's a bully, can score goals. Glasny has changed his life. Hopefully he can continue that new look Mateta at Arsenal. I just don't think we're in for it. Arteta will stick with Havertz up top. If he sticks with him up top, that's your business, Mikel Arteta. Whether you get a new striker and choose to use them, persist with Kai Havertz, do what you want to do. And I'm at the point where I'm not saying I want that. Just make sure, however you do it, by hook or by crook, just make sure next May 2026, Islington has a parade and we're all at the parade celebrating some sort of silverware. Me personally, I think you've got to be cruel to be kind. At the end of the day, whether people like Kai Havertz or not, he's here, he's not going anywhere, he's on big wages, the manager likes him. I'm not saying I'm for it, but utilize him in some sort. I'm not against the Marinos, Martinellis, Trossards, Kai Havertz. These men across the season could help us, because as much as I want Eze and Gyökeres, for example, or Sesko, let's just say the first 9 games, we're winning them. Nothing to really scream and shout about. The 10th game comes now. And let's assume Eze's been doing great things. Gyökeres or Sesko been banging, like they got 9 in 9, innit? When that 10th game comes, let's just say it's one of them games where everything's gone wrong. It's not quite happening for us. There's refereeing decisions, low blocks, all of that. The Marinos, the Kai Havertz, you can come off the bench and maybe nick us 3 points. You can do that. I just think we can't have these guys in this, like, they can't be regulars like that. They can't be first names on the team sheet. My hot take, I actually think you're going to see a lot of Kai Havertz in midfield. Had Kai Havertz have been fit when Odegaard's form was on the floor, I think Odegaard gets dropped out and Eze comes in. I don't think he'll go for Nwaneri. I think what goes against Nwaneri is 1, experience, 2, needs to get up to speed with what Mikel Arteta demands of Odegaard in that role. When he does that, nothing's stopping him. But the obvious, you know, obviously he's young, consistency is the main thing, still developing physically, all of that kind of jazz. Havertz in midfield is not a hot take. Fair enough. Still don't think we're getting Eze. I'll take Eze. I'll be surprised in a good way if we get Eze. I just know that Crystal Palace, they're going to want the bread. However you get it to them, they're going to want the bread. Put up the cash, you can have what you want. But until I see bids, fees agreed, medicals taking place, etc. And I'm with you, man. I don't really believe these reports until people are holding shirts, but it makes for good talking points. And we wouldn't have anything really to discuss if we weren't doing such, man. So yeah, like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Gyökeres, Rodrigo, Eze, make it happen. That would be a dream. But to be honest, we're told we're the most profitable club in the world and we can spend well over 200 million. But let's just assume it's release clause or nothing for Eze. Now, obviously, Arsenal will try barter that lower, try not to hit his release clause, maybe even pay a bit more if the payment structures make sense, you know. But he's gonna, let's just assume that's 65, 68 million. You see conflicting reports. Gyökeres or Sesko, that's 60 to 70 million on a good day. So add up that cost. Rodrigo, you're looking at 70 million at the lowest and as high as 100 million. You tie that in, then you throw a 5 million that we bought Kepa for, 9.5 for obviously Nordgaard, however 20 odd or something like that, or just shy of 20 odd million euros for this Mascara brother. 50 odd million is due for Zubamendi, and this is all assuming we're not going to sign, I don't know, an overlapping left back, because unpopular opinion, I think there's a capacity for a left back. I know Kivior can play there. I know Timber can go over there. I know if Calafiori's fit, he could go over there. I know if Tomiyasu's fit, he could go over there. But really and truly, when we're in the thick of it, the only one that we've seen available on a consistent basis has been a man that's really been in this first team for 6 to 7, 8 months max. Big up Miles Lewis-Skelly. So I think there's capacity for that. And or maybe it's a bit naive. I wouldn't say Eze or Rodrigo necessarily need this. And I'm not saying Lewis-Skelly couldn't play as a traditional left back, but I do think there's scope, if not to be a regular option for us. But bit like when we had Teeny, and there were some games, the inverted left back thing's not working. Traditional left back, just overlap, take people with you. Because we all know, I'd imagine Rodrigo's the same, and Eze. They can obviously hug the touchline. They're obviously 1v1 demons. But the modern game on the best of days, inside forwards. If we imagine this is the width of the pitch, right? Bloody hell, completely off topic. You can see I'm sweating like a madman. Chocolate darling is melting. But see what I'm doing? Smash the like button. But yeah, if we imagine that this is Saka, this is Martinelli, for example, we exaggerate, assume we're on the football pitch, and they got chalk on their boots on the halfway line, edge of the line, the byline. You don't see that. You're in that half space where you're not quite narrow, you're not quite the touchline, you're kind of there. And on the best of the, obviously, they can do the width thing. And you see what Arteta wants from that left-hand side. That probably will change with a different caliber of left back, right? But that's that on the best of days. Eze, in my opinion, is at his best when he's drifting inside. He's doing little neat 1-2s. He's dribbling. I'd imagine Rodrigo's the same, to which you can have your inverted fullback. Lewis-Skelly can come into the full. We can overload the middle third and the opposition's half and do all of that. But how much would it be if you just had a flying left back, whether they're going to get the ball or not? You take someone with you. That's more space for our players to positively gallivant into. So be interesting to see, man. Rodrigo and Sesko or Eze and Gyökeres. Oh, some questions shouldn't be asked, my guy. Oh gosh. Sorry, I'm just doing the calculations. I wanted to say Rodrigo and Sesko because I'm quite fond of Sesko, and Rodrigo is the one that tips the balance. But Eze and Gyökeres, 27, they're right here. Gyökeres probably has a monkey on his back. Didn't work out for him at Brighton. Did his thing in the Championship, but you know how snooty football fans are. Oh, you did it in Portugal. You did it in the Championship. Can you do it in the top league? So he's had some good and bad periods. It's right now mode. Eze's right now mode. I'm not saying he can't get better, but they're 27. It's now or never. These are your first significant moves. Rodrigo's been at Real Madrid. It's water for ducks back in that regard. Sesko, there is an element of you need to deliver in the short term, but it's more long-term thinking. And I do think our football club, we're in that trap of always preparing for tomorrow and not quite taking advantage of the present or today, if that makes sense. I've been telling you, Havertz going to midfield as soon as we get a striker. Arteta's vision is nearly upon us. Do you think his vision will be worth what? The other part of the sentence ain't quite there, my boy. Looking at what rival teams are doing in the window, Arsenal must go big and secure elite players. Eze would be an asset. Don't think we're getting Rodrigo. I don't think we're getting Rodrigo at all. Now, for me, get Eze through the door, get your Sesko or Gyökeres, tie up the other loose ends that we've been linked with in the past few weeks, tie up the new deals where you can. Gabriel Magalhaes and Miles Lewis-Skelly step in the right direction. Maybe with some outgoings and doing significant business, I think if you get Eze, that's it, innit? Like if you get Eze a striker and all the others, I think our window is done. But if you do the bulk of the business and you get some players out, there might be some money to play around with, because I still think, I don't think Rodrigo's leaving, but it does feel like one of those things that are going to drag out. And Spanish reports, again, what's being reported, what's actually going on in the world of football, different things. But it feels like one where it's an ever-changing, developing system. So by all means, keep asking Rodrigo's advisors if he wants to move. Keep monitoring that Real Madrid situation, but simultaneously make sure you're tying up Eze or whatever, because we don't want to have what we've had in previous windows where we're chasing one guy like Nico Williams or Rafinha. We end up empty-handed. The we tried, the powder dry. We're at a disadvantage, innit? It's simple as that. 3 attackers would excite the fan base for the season. To be fair, did David Ornstein not say that we want 3 attackers? I don't know what 3 attackers would mean, but you get the point. Bring Eze home. I don't see Eze as a left winger, though. I see him more as a 10 than a left-sided winger. I can't lie. He can play. He could be competition for Odegaard. I don't think Arteta would go for it, but there is scope for Eze to play as an 8. But he'll play off that left-hand side, man. That seems like the only opening in an ideal world, because you're going to obviously throughout a season, you're going to have to mix and blend, rest players, etc. But if we just assumed our strongest 11, or what we think is our strongest 11, give or take, it's going to have Zubamendi, it's going to have Rice in the pivot, right? Odegaard's going to be in the 10. At this moment, well, Saka is on the right. Whoever the hell you want in the back 5, because I'm cool with the defensive unit. I'm going to go with Raya, Timber, Luis Skelly, Gabriel Magalhaes, and William Saliba. Striker at this moment in time, I personally think they'll go for Havertz, but you could say Marino. Don't really care if you want Martinelli or Trossard, have your thing. But you look at the left side, the left wing, and you look up front. Those are the 2 areas to improve. And that feels like Eze's in. Like you could evidently see, even if Eze isn't a true winger, is he better than Trossard or Martinelli? Evidently he is. And it's probably easier to get Eze than an Anthony Gordon or something of that ilk, man. So it'd be interesting. We can't see the sweat on this camera. Don't worry. If the thing was 4K, though, I'd rather Eze left centre mid so much of this team. But then you're going to have to move Rice over to the right. What does that mean for Zubamendi? I think there's scope to do. I'm dying, mate. There's scope to do things like that in the season. But I don't think Arteta is going to go for it on a consistent basis. But bring the players in, tactics later, man. I do feel like Arteta will start the season with Rice as a 6 if we get the signings we're supposed to. You reckon? I think he's staying in the 8. Zubamendi's in the 6. So, yeah, man, it'd be interesting to see. Let's see if they pay more for Sesko or Gyökeres. If they pull out over 10 million, then the promise of investment was a lie. Fair enough. I reckon if I had to put money down, I think Sesko's the one they go for. Eze, Rodgers, Gyökeres, clip it, be nice. If Rodrigo becomes available, sell Martinelli. Sell Martinelli to where? And we need squad players. Martinelli's cool on the bench. Eze all day, brother. Premier League proven. I hear it. But put up or shut up. And it's not just us that's going to be onto Eze. I agree. Eze scored majority of his goals at 10. I'll wait for August for Rodrigo. I hear it. The day we sell Havertz, there will actually be a parade. Hopefully there's just a parade at winning trophies. Rice goes to the 6. Rotate with Zubi. Zubi for games we have possession. Rice for games we're on the counter. I do feel confident in Eze because we know he wants the club. Arteta likes players that want to play for the club. I hear you, yeah. But where's Eze said this? I know his words at times have been taken out of context. He once upon a time said my dream was to play for Arsenal and, you know, and whatnot. But where has he said this? I do think he'd be enticed by Arsenal for a variety of reasons. Equally, I feel there's several clubs. And he's every now and again linked with Bayern Munich. I don't know if Bayern are on for him, but it seems like there's an inroad there. I'm sure Elise put a good word in for him. And it's a World Cup year. He's got a serious decision to make. Rice, Zubamendi tandem isn't going to happen after we got that player. What player are you talking about? Eze has versatility, which Arteta prefers. He seems more likely than a lot of other wingers. Links. I think it's just easy. Simply put, I think it's just easier to get Eze than it is to get Rodrigo. You need Rodrigo to make it abundantly clear to Real Madrid, I want to leave, or Xabi Alonso to tell him, I want to sell, or Real Madrid to say you want to go. So, yeah, man. That player, you know, the one. Boy, I'm not. Where's my mic? Why is not my mic? Where's my mouse? I can't lie, boy, man. You got to be even more specific with your sentences, bro. Like, what? Say specifically what you mean. From Brentford, Nordgaard. Bro, stop talking in code. Just say names, bro. Like, what's going on? Nordgaard is a bench thing. It's a bench thing. I think he's going to play a lot more than people. I do need a nice bath. He's going to have to play a lot more than people give him credit for. I think with Nordgaard, I'm not expecting you to be Santi Cazorla, but from what I know of the player, you're good from set pieces. You're a captain. You're experienced. You know, I know you're good at destroying and winning the ball back and all the defensive phases. And I'm not expecting you, as I said, I'm not expecting you to be Luka Modric and all of these things. But realistically, the top teams in the league, which we're one of them, It's very throughout a 38 game season, we're very rarely on the back foot. Yeah, there's them crazy NBA games, but 9 times out of 10, the vast majority of the game is played in the opposition's half. It's all low blocks and deep blocks and all of that. So when he hasn't got to do his traditional stuff, if he is playing, what are you going to give us on the ball? Again, I'm not expecting you to be Luka Modric and all of these kind of things, but it's just a bit of food for thought. I'm not against Norgard, but as much as I can say, all right, Norgard, cool, Kepa, all right, backup keeper, who else? Zubamendi, I'm very bullish about. Zubamendi's the only one that I feel at this moment in time, like the actual moves that are making progress, that I feel is a level raiser or anything close to a game changer. And I'm not against it because I think we need to do a lot. We need to have a bigger squad. We need some quality to the starting 11, and we just need players that are better than what we have, especially in the attacking ranks. If we break it down, really and truly, it's our attacking. We have to carry our attack the most. And if the only real attacker we've got faith in is probably Kai Havertz. We've seen Martinelli go through a purple patch in terms of form and not do the job. Trossard the same, Kai the same. You know, asterisk 1 year, he's young and whatnot, but it's not sustainable. You can't win Prems and Champs with just one man. Not everyone has to be on Saka's level, but they need a degree of reliability like such, man. DG, I'm just tired of all this transfer palaver now. And the weather don't help. I've checked out now. I just look at the news and keep it moving. I hear you. Punch the like button. Don't punch it. You're going to mash up your thing. But yeah, man. Hair loss been activated since Norgard hit the news cycle. I mean, anyone crying about Norgard, that's crazy, man. Big up DG in the chat. Make sure y'all are staying hydrated. Don't you have the AC over there? I have a fan, but if I turn on, look, if I turn this on, it's very nice. You lot don't want this. I'm cautious of the fact that, yeah, and the lights are on. Oh, I'm dying. I've been running through water, but like you can hear it in, it's gonna ruin stuff. Or is it that deep, or shall I leave it? You know what, DG, to be spared, or okay, yeah, you lot don't care, but I'm turning it off. You lot don't care. I thought I was gonna get some sympathy. The sympathy was not rolling. You lot just said shut up and run the football news. Fair enough, man. Big up DG in the chat. Make sure you're staying hydrated. There's enough minutes for all these players and different teams for different player setups. But just social, you know how it goes. Fans see the same things play out. They see why you need depth. They see why you need game changers off the bench. Even a game changer might not even necessarily be a good player. But then we get caught in the trap. And you know how it goes. The first few weeks of the season, when you've got one game a week and what? September, there's even an international break. Don't quote me. I don't know if it changes with the World Cup. When you've got one game a week, every player that's in the team or out the team, their career here is over. You see, once you get to that period where the League Cups, couple League Cup games start coming in, the Champions League is there, the Premier League is there. You've got 2 games a week, 3 games in 10 days. You know what time it is. We need depth. And like he's basically saying, different horses for different courses. For me, I just want people put in the roles that they need to be required in, man. Like, stop taking squad players and trying to make them regulars, man. So it is what it is, man. Deluded by name, deluded by nature. Won't ever stop. It won't ever stop. Buckwheat or whatever your name is. Another one who I always see commenting, chatting nonsense, but hated, adored, but never ignored, man. Sometimes he said, sometimes you comment that when I haven't even said it. I could say the sky is blue and you got issues, but it's all love, man. You wanted a bit of fame, there you go, my friend, man. I haven't even said anything, but yeah, man. Just as long as you and your bitch talking on the guy, man. But anyways, don't turn it off, man. You got to stay wavy for the show, homie. Nah, man. Do you know what? It'll put me off. Can't hear it. You know what? Big up you lot, man. I got some real ones here, man. I got some real ones. Slightly, I was saying with that, I was hoping. Big up you lot. 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 Ain't that deep, no noise. Come on. In English, you cook egg outside. Huh? Us English folk, we don't do that. Who does that? I don't think it's quite hot enough for that, but yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards, man. Should we see what's going on in the news and whatnot? Keep your thoughts coming. In fact, just before that, I have Rice and Zubamendi as a pair of 6s to rotate. Why do we need Norgard? Because you've got them as that. Is Declan Rice seen as an out-and-out 6? And I think too much is being said on all of this, man. Like, obviously, certain men are better with a football, certain men are good at destroying, but you're a centre mid. Just because you're an 8 doesn't mean you don't have to do 6 shit. Just because you're a 6 doesn't mean you don't have to do 8 things. The one thing I would say is, could we have got an 8, like a proper 8, like you can get the ball, you can turn, you can break lines on a consistent basis? I guess what I'm referring to is there capacity to address that skill sort? Don't know who you would get, where you'd get, but I genuinely believe, could you do with an 8? Obviously, I'm saying the names, you can't go and find them, but the Santi Cazorla ilk, because we've got a lot of physical players. We don't really have that. Like, Zubamendi is probably the one I think is going to break lines. Could you do that? I've alluded to an overlapping centre half. Definitely not. An overlapping left back. We all know we need a striker and a winger in it, so there's a skill shortage, man. So when there's no trophy at the end of the season because we're short on creativity in midfield, we'll talk about it then, yeah. I don't care that Jorginho left, but you just seem frustrated, if I'm honest with you. It ain't for me to talk about. You're misunderstanding me. If Arteta wanted to sign 26s or 28s or do things how you want it and I want it, or in his own way, that's great. However you do it, I would love it to be beautiful. If it's got to be ugly, just make sure there's something for us to celebrate in May. If you think Kai Havertz can be the striker, I don't want to see it. But if you think you can do that, cool. Just make sure there's something. Just that's it, man. Surely you know we're losing a lot of experience in the team with Jorginho, Ten and Partey gone. Hence, Norgard. It's not that difficult to understand. There's nothing. Man, are just crying because Norgard is not a sexy signing and is going to take us to the next level. And to be honest, I give the club credit for sorting that one there out quickly. Partey's cutting, midfield body in. Obviously, it's the second choice because in an ideal world, I don't think Norgard. You never know with us, but I don't think Norgard signs for Arsenal because Partey signs a new deal on whatever terms. You've got Zubamendi. Keep it moving. It'd be nice if we could go for a 10, quote unquote, even though I don't really want to harm Wanyeri's game time if he is to be given a chance there. I just think that's a shortage, especially like we're just relying on Odegaard. I do think our system is too intricate in that, you know, if Saka's not doing the job, if Odegaard's not doing the job, if Rice isn't making that run, still if the inverted left back ain't doing much, it's kind of easy to source our thing out, if that makes sense. I fear for any wavy ballers that sign, Arteta will have Eze playing wing back. Damn. Hope you're well, DG. Keep that fan on. It's 92 Fahrenheit in London. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. DG, if we took too long to replace Partey, the fans would complain either way. It's true. And let's be honest. Pardon me. We're trying to balance our budget here. If it was up to me, I couldn't tell you who, but I would like to replace Partey with for quality. Couldn't tell you what player to go and get, whether that's an 8 or a 6, but in terms of the stature, that's probably setting you back 40, 50 odd million. That is what I would have liked. But if they said, you know what, we can be a bit cute and clever, save money here and go big in the attack, fair play. But that's an if. I need to see that. Well, I'm not expecting no trophy, so it's all Gucci, but you're fun at parties. Norgard VPN will do his job and fill in, just let him plug in. DG, if we seen that already. But that's the thing, man. I just think fans just want to see some sexy signings now, man, some game changes. And I don't believe fans are wrong in that regards for wanting such people, man. We need some. I think Arteta's got to evolve so much tactically, but there is an element. We just need better players in key positions. And we've underinvested in attack. And let's be honest, when we have invested, 9 times out of 10, it's not banged. For one reason or another, injury, stagnation, Arteta signing duds, whatever. But it's not happened. Jesus is not the player he was in the first 6 months. Havertz, we failed upwards with him playing up front. Merino, we failed upwards with him playing up front, if you include them two in the attacking unit. Martinelli's been struggling. Trossard's probably been Arteta's best attacking recruiter, to be fair with you. But again, squad player at best. It's not making sense. And it's mad because we scored 100 odd goals, but it's people have been hiding behind them stats forever. We need to share the goals around, great, but we need better players. It's simple as that, especially where you're rocking up in the Champions League. Big up Karma in the chat as well. Shout out all the mods, man. Big up yourselves. Now, you would have seen 3 days ago, apparently Arsenal have added Eze to their transfer shortlist, and simultaneously Spurs have also been linked with him. Just before I've gone live today, Romano has said Arsenal made contact with Eze's camp over the weekend. Contacts are taking place for Crystal Palace star, with Arsenal informed on the deal conditions. Spurs, Tottenham also remain keen on Eze. So what's the conditions? Are they flexible with the release clause and when you're paying it? Do they just want the release clause? Are they saying if you don't want to activate his release clause, you have to give us a deal that plays over? Are they playing hardball and trying to convince and commit Eze to stay? Does Eze want to stay at Palace for one more year? We just won an FA Cup. We're in Europe, etc. It is a World Cup year. I don't know, people. But you'd imagine everyone and their dog would be interested. So this tells me, and I'm no transfer man, that we've spoken with his camp, sold our project to him, judged the gauge the temperature if he wants to make the move to North London, if he does. Obviously told him how he'd fit in, broadly seeing terms for wages, etc. And if we've been informed on deal conditions, maybe indirectly we've been told of what Crystal Palace are expecting. But we haven't heard any official bids or anything of that ilk. So it's not like we have to cold water on it. We just have to take time with this. You did see on the 26th of June, apparently his 68 million release clause can be paid in 3 installments of 20 million with 8 million in add-ons. It all depends how that falls on the accountancy stuff, I guess. Now, apparently, Romano's also said Spurs have genuine interest in Mohamed Kudus, and he's high on the list of their summer targets. Initial contacts took place with new agents, while there are more clubs also involved. Kudus is open to moving to Spurs. So surely Spurs can't get him and Eze. You never know. Stranger things have happened. We've also tentatively been linked with Kudus. I still think Nico Williams ends up at Barcelona, but just to keep you lot updated, Barcelona have told Nico Williams to give his final okay now, or his move will be in danger. And you're seeing a lot of different fallout talking points with him. This is what you don't want to be entangled in. Player given permission to skip pre-season start as Arsenal tussle to sign him. Arsenal's pursuit and the pausing of it for Sporting's Victor Gyökeres has been continually covered by the Portuguese press. The Gunners made an informal bid of 55 million euros plus bonuses, which wasn't entertained by the Lions. They're demanding 80 million euros, which is 20 million euros less than his release clause. On Friday, apparently, a report said the striker has one goal in mind to join Arsenal. They also said he doesn't want to be part of Sporting's pre-season and wants to immediately move to the Emirates. Saturday's edition of Old Jogo covers the latest on the Primera Liga side's immediate plan for the 27-year-old as Arsenal tussle to sign him. Rui Borges will welcome his players as they start pre-season preparations from July the 1st, which is tomorrow, people. What have we made of this so far? The Sweden international had been expected back with the rest of the squad, but has been given permission to join the group a week later. Apparently, the reports say that this is because of his involvement with the national team early this month, but he wasn't part of John Dallas Thomason's squad for the two friendlies against Hungary and Algeria. The Gunners are aware the frontman wants to join them. Sporting's president Federico Varandas wants 80 million euros, but Arsenal are unwilling to meet his request. The Gunners, in agreement with the striker's manager Hassan Setakaya, are betting on a fee in the region of 60 million euros plus 10 million euros for goals, which they claim they have agreed between Sporting and the agent. Apparently, his agent insists on an agreement with Varandas to sell his client for 60 million euros plus 10 million euros in bonuses. He's publicly said he can leave for less than his 100 million euros clause, but denies agreeing a fee with the representative. The player will return to pre-season on July the 7th, and Arsenal have until then to try and find an agreement with Sporting. So they oversold it with the headline. He doesn't need to be back in. He'll be interested after July the 7th if he does rock back in. So yeah, we're hearing there was an agreement of 60 million. They want 80 million. Do Arsenal think he's worth 80 million euros? I don't know. DeMarzio, no clue on his hit to miss ratio. I said Isaac wants to leave Newcastle this summer. Now, if we could get Isaac, there's no Gyökeres, there's no Sesko, there's none of this. I don't believe this, but one can dream, I guess. Apparently, he's talked to the coach and the club because he would like to leave, but Newcastle are currently not open to that. So, yeah, and he's primarily linked with Liverpool. Apparently, Gyökeres has even split up with his girlfriend, who said that she would like to keep him in Portugal, people. Given our expectations for Victor's value, I believe he might leave unless he has the worst agent in the world, which I find hard to believe because he's one of the best footballers in the world. I'm not going to say what amount we're asking that was conveyed to his agent, but I guarantee you that Victor will not leave for 60 million plus 10 million. Victor already knows this. Either a club respects Victor's fair market value and he fulfills his dream, or that club doesn't want Victor, and Victor, with 3 years left on his contract, stays at Sporting. There are only 2 scenarios. I'll say we've kind of read that. So it's crazy. Apparently, he's left his girlfriend as well. So don't matter what she wants anymore. Come to London, man. Come to London. I'm sure Arteta will sort you out. In fact, he'll probably be vexed because all it seems is like our players are getting in relationships or married and then, breeding essentially. So yeah, apparently Victor Gyökeres has no intention to come back and play again, according to Romano. Gyökeres already informed the club about it, as per Record Portugal. Swedish striker insists on pat made last year over summer exit, now feeling betrayed and tired. But it's business, isn't it? It's absolutely business, man. People love lying. And to be fair, the Sporting president, I don't think he's wrong with this. I think it's a bit of mind games in that he's spoken on Mbuemo and Cunha and Zubamendi. Arsenal, Man United have been linked to with Gyökeres. We have been watching the market, and I saw Martin Zubamendi, who is 6 months younger than Victor, leave for 65 million. Okay, fair enough. I saw Matthias Cunha and Brian Mbuemo, both forwards, but who, in my opinion, do not have Victor's market value or quality, being negotiated for around 75 million euros. Given the demands we consider fair, I believe Victor could leave unless he has the worst agent in the world, which is hard for me to believe because he's one of the best in the world. So it just seems like Sporting just want to be paid handsomely. Blind out of Germany are saying Sesko Ékitiké is a serious option for Arsenal. Voices are saying if Arsenal can't significantly negotiate a price for Gyökeres or Sesko, a higher fee would be required for a new striker. Anyway, Ékitiké would become a real attraction. Romano somewhat poured cold water on that and said, at the moment, I'm told there's no change on Ékitiké's situation, no concrete update about the striker and Arsenal people. We've heard that Leipzig are now considering 60 million a more realistic price. So there's been a bit of a price drop with Sesko, or they've stopped trying to play hardball. Arsenal back in poker game to sign player. Andrea Berta could dump Gyökeres and Sesko. So this is in relation to Hugo Ékitiké. Apparently Liverpool, Chelsea, I guess Arsenal, Man United are all said to be keen on a 23-year-old. These clubs haven't made progress, but that should change soon, potentially because of Mikel Arteta's side. Blim report the Frenchman is being seriously considered at the Emirates as Andrea Berta is thinking about giving him the difficulties he's been having with others. The Bundesliga club are still demanding 100 million euros. So they want 100 million euros. Sporting want to be paid handsomely. And we've just seen apparently there's been a price drop with Sesko, but it hasn't been smooth sailing with that. The moral of the story is if you've got a striker that's wanted by especially the British clubs or a decent striker in this day and age where, to be fair, the attacking market for left wingers, right wingers, strikers at an all-time low, you're going to be one paid handsomely. Especially if you're Leipzig, because you ain't got Champions League money coming in. You're going to see a bunch of, well, I say a bunch subjectively, but Openda could leave, Xavi Simons could leave, Sesko's going to leave. So yeah, it makes sense, man. So probably the only one that's gonna probably be available for significantly cheaper is someone we've been linked with Ollie Watkins. We're led to believe today Hugo Ékitiké is the third horse if you can't get Gyökeres or Sesko. 24 hours ago, it was all Ollie Watkins if we fell. Attempting to drag Arsenal back in feels like desperation. If Berta isn't keen on paying up for Gyökeres or Sesko, then he surely laugh at 100 million euros for Ékitiké or even something close to that amount, people. So we've gone over this. We know that Gyökeres now has been given permission to skip things. What's this? In relation to Mosquera, the Valencia lad. According to media close to Valencia, Arsenal had bid 19 million euros, and that was considered insufficient. The player was said to have been keen on a renewal and a little frustrated that Valencia were taking time to offer him a good deal. The Spanish club stance is that Ron Gulay arrives as the new CEO in July, and they therefore want to wait. Sunday's edition of Super Deporte, Valencia's local newspaper, reports Arsenal's first offer was actually just 15 million euros. The newspaper states Arsenal are now prepared to offer 20 to 25 million euros, with 3 to 5 million euros for the higher figure based on performance-related bonuses. Andrea Berta is said to be keen, having been interested when he was in charge at Atletico Madrid. Whether Valencia will listen to a 25 million euros package remains to be seen, and a lot will depend on Maresca's response to any renewal offer, given his contract expires a year from now. They're playing games with someone that's wanted by Leipzig, Arsenal, and a bunch of other teams. So it's interesting, and we're led to believe personal terms are not an issue. Martinelli has been discussed by Al Nasser as a potential winger option, but Luis Diaz remains the top target. So rumours of Saudi, Barcelona, Bayern don't seem to be going away with Gabby Martinelli. Real Madrid have been clear with any player who wants to leave, bring an offer to the table. If it suits the club's demands, they can leave. The exit door remains open. Rodrigo's agent, make sure you're in consistent dialogue. Once again, we've heard Spurs apparently have pulled out of the race to sign Eze, which would be interesting. In 2024-25, he played 43 times, got 14 goals, 12 assists, played 3,299 minutes. Oof. Oof. Eze is one that very possibly can get done because there's a 68 million release clause, and crucially it's payable in 3 installments. Now this has been billed as a kind of North London derby. It might be Arsenal, it might be Spurs. My understanding is that Tottenham have actually backed off in the last few hours, and although the interest is genuine, it's now nothing really more than that. Eze, some say, is an Arsenal fan as well. Yeah, I hear that Arsenal fan stuff, but when you're actually a professional footballer, and as much as I want you to sign for Spurs, I mean, it's definitely not sign for Spurs, that's crazy, sign for Arsenal. Doesn't matter what you as a fan of. It doesn't matter what you as a fan of. You've got a job to do. Like, you've got a job to do. And if Arsenal haven't made an offer and Spurs have, it is what it is. Now, I hope we make an offer. Plenty of reasons that we've been discussing as to why we want Eze. So Eze to Arsenal could be one to watch, because if they can't get Rodrigo, it wouldn't surprise me if they ramp up their interest in Eze. Let's just get Eze over the line, man. If, I'm not Berta, I'm not Arteta, I don't know anyone. If there's some degree of turning what could be mission impossible to mission probable with Rodrigo, then go for it. But at some point, you're gonna have to cut off any communication and stop waiting on things to change with Rodrigo, and just be a bit proactive. It feels like Eze is more realistic. He's got a release clause. I guess Crystal Palace have expected this day to come. Just make it happen. Simply because that release clause makes things a little bit easier, especially because it isn't payable in that one lump sum, which is music to our ears if you support Arsenal. We've been linked with Pepe. I know we've had one before, and we've actually been linked with Porto's Pepe before, but it seems to have resurfaced. Portuguese outlet Record states that Arsenal have made exploratory contact to find out what terms Porto would accept for the 28-year-old. Really? Don't believe it. Arteta has been told that Porto would not accept a free loan for the player who had a season to forget last term. So why are we getting him? The Portuguese club are not about to shut the door on a transfer, but do hold significant power, given Pepe has a 75 million euros release clause and a contract that runs for 2 more years. So you're not going to get top money for him unless you sell him this summer. If Pepe does depart Porto, it's likely to be a loan deal. This is because the Portuguese giants would need to pay commission to Yes Sports and N1 on any sale before next summer. Who are they? I don't know who that is. A low risk, high reward deal. It's not sounding very low risk to me, if I'm completely honest with you. But you never know. And we have been linked, we've been linked with restarting Ademola Lookman talks. Now, surely he's only seen as an alternative if you can't get Rodrigo, or as a wouldn't be against him. We're led to believe his days are, unfortunately, if you support Atalanta, numbered. We all know Thomas Partey is leaving. He's been linked with a move to Barcelona, people. This is actually his last day. Ollie Watkins to Arsenal. New update with Aston Villa ready to sell within days. Arsenal's view on a potential return to sign superstar striker. I mean, this Harry Burton guy, shameless, isn't it? Ollie Watkins as the PSR deadline looms over Aston Villa this month. David Ornstein's also come out and said that Aston Villa have taken a page out of Chelsea's book and sold their women's team, or sold something around their women's team. Rules are there to be broken. Just rumors at this, man. It don't really, until we're abundantly told we are not getting Sesko or Gyökeres, then I will give somewhat of a thought to the Watkins staff and the Ékitiké staff, and no doubt any other striker that's linked to us in that period, people. Martin Zubimendi's in London to seal Arsenal move as Gunners target triple transfer deal. Nordgaard, Kepa and Zubimendi. Be nice to see in 24 hours if they're announced. He was photographed at airport in Bilbao as he jetted to England to complete his switch. Finally, you've been a player for about 2 years, or at least a couple of months. Only thing close to a game changer I think we've got at this moment in time. 26 years of age, finally leaving his homeland, his boyhood club, and venturing out, people. So yeah, we've heard about that. We know Mikel Arteta has been a driving force for Zubimendi, who was linked with Liverpool, and it seemed like they were going to sign him at a point last summer, and has been linked with hijack talk and interest from Real Madrid. Arsenal are closing in on a deal to sign Christian Nordgaard. Thomas Partey is expected to depart. His contract actually expires today. Arsenal have been discussing a fee for Nordgaard worth in the region of an initial 10 million with a possible 5 million add-ons. Partey had been in talks over a new deal that was dead. We know Jorginho's cut. We know we're also finalizing Kepa. Apparently he's done his medical. Sesko and Gyökeres rumors won't go away. And the next one that seems like it might drag is Christian Mosquera, people. So it seems like things are starting to heat up. João Pedro's going to Chelsea, but we've been linked with Christopher Nkunku. I mean, we've been linked with Christopher Nkunku, Noni Madueke, and there's definitely another Chelsea player. We're getting Kepa, but Christopher Nkunku, Noni Madueke. There's a next Chelsea player we've been linked with, Nicolas Jackson. I don't know if there's any degree of truth in this, or if just journalists playing games, but we have shown that we're not shy to buy a player from Chelsea. And in that regards, in that it doesn't feel like difficult deals to do. That's why I think, oh, you know what? You never know, people. But Christopher Nkunku can't stay fit. And it says he's believed to be keen on a return to Germany. Safe. They don't let Chelsea fans get away with it. They gas that signing. Every PL club's record sale. How can our record sale still be Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain? So yeah, we need to get renewals. We need to bring people in. But I need you to do what you can in terms of outgoings this summer. But generally, we need to get better at selling. We need to get better at sourcing talents that simply put, buy for the cheap, sell for the high. Like there might be an 18-year-old that comes into our first team, not quite good enough. You got him for 10 million, you've turned that into 40, keep it moving. And especially around our academy, whether we rate these players or not, we should be getting top money for a lot of these players that have gone on and done other things. Amari Hutchinson making movements. Brooke Norton-Cuffy will be playing Premier League football sooner rather than later. You know, whether they're going to do anything or not, the Lino Solsas of this world, the Renell Waters, you know, need to follow on what we've been doing with the Ballagans and Iwobis and Smith Rose and Eddie and Nketiahs, but those are exceptions rather than the rule. That's something City and Chelsea do that we failed to do. So we're going to need to learn how to do that to get to the next level. Is there anything new? Come on, man. Tell us Lionel Messi wants to join us. Congratulations to Ethan Wanyeri as well for what happened here? For obviously winning the Under-21s championship. Big up on Amari Hutchinson and Brooke Norton-Cuffy as well. Anything new? The newest thing we've heard is that Partey could be going over there to Barcelona. Good move, really. You're not going to earn significant finances that you would have here. But fair play, my friend. So yeah, we've been linked with Nicolas Jackson. Let's hope for our sake there's no real truth in that. Should we see if this website's got anything new for us? Ooh. What's this? Gone over that already. What's this? Ooh. Arsenal have, oh, they done me. Hugo Ékitiké. Yeah, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, United, Newcastle have apparently all been linked with the 23-year-old. I don't think it makes sense, man. Apparently, Bundesliga expert Renan Murphy said Arsenal are in need of someone who can shoulder the responsibility of being their number 9, someone who they can rely on to be a prolific goal scorer. After Marmoush was sold to Manchester City, Hugo Ékitiké took on both of those roles at Frankfurt and did everything that was expected of him. The Gunners have tried and tested various 9s and non-9s to fill that position under Arteta, but now it's time to stop trusting the process and get someone in who already fits. Hugo Ékitiké will be exactly like this for Arsenal, as he can hit the ground running in the Premier League, just like Marmoush did at City. The transfer fee is much more than Hugo Ékitiké is worth, but Frankfurt always maximize profit and will do so again here. If he performs as expected at Arsenal, the outlay will be worth every penny for Arteta and the Gunners. I mean, yeah, but that's if in it. Smash the like button if you haven't already, folks. What else have we got? Yeah, so yeah, apparently we're back in talks for Ademola Lookman. 4 p.m. I'm gonna have Catch and D of FamZone TV. So yeah, it's a chance for me to shut up and hear you lot sports, and also there's people and a bit of an exclusive for you lot that are here. Big up Adrian Clark. I did a video with Adrian Clark this morning. Haven't released it yet, but it's soon land, people. Always working for you lot. So make sure the notification bells are on. But yeah, man, is what it is. DG Junior Films 10DO. The hot weather is too much for me. Kwame, it's a mad thing, man. The Jackson and Konku nonsense must stop. I thought Willock was close to 40 million. Even Willock's another good sell, but that needs to become the general rule, man. Sesko following United now, odd guy. I can't lie. This is why I don't pre what people are doing too much, and it's just mind games. Who knows? He could go Man United and we could get Gyökeres. Nobody don't know anything. Which players do you think will leave and how much do you think we'll get for them? I'm interested to see how Berta operates in the selling department. It's a techie one because on one hand, there is an element of people are selling and buying for more than a player's worth. It is what you can hustle, and in which Berta's got a reputation for hustling, right? So go and show us something. I think for us, we just need to clear the wage bill. In terms of players I think will leave, obviously Partey's and Jorginho and Tini, they're gone. I'm cheating the game a bit with that one. I'd imagine Lokonga's gone. I'd imagine Zinchenko's gone. For me, I think Kivior's going to ask to leave because he wants to go get first team football. I wouldn't sell him, but I think he's going to ask to leave. So that's Kivior. I don't think, you never know, but I don't think we're going to see not even an unpopular one, an unpredictable sell. You know, you never know with Martinelli if an offer gets placed that's too good to turn down. You never know with Trossard, especially around his contract. Yeah. I'd say I think Kivior, Zinchenko, Lokonga. I'm on the fence with Fabio Vieira because I think he should go at minimum, go on loan again. But you just think of someone that if you just play well in preseason, you can hang around and be part of the squad, whether that's good for you or not. Pardon me, I might even be exaggerating. I think Fabio Vieira is the toughest deal because I think with Zinchenko, he's on big wages. We're just happy to flog him, and I think he wants to leave. With Fabio Vieira, we all know we're not going to make our money back, but what would be a decent fee? And I'd imagine he's not earning 100+ million like some, but those wages that he's on at Arsenal, are people going to want to take them? Because he didn't really pull up any trees at Porto. If it was up to me, bro, you can go Porto again on loan or they can take you back permanently. That would mean knocking off some of the price for that Rodrigo Moura lad at Porto. He's going to be a star, probably be in their World Cup squad. We need to start getting these João Neveses and all the guys we waffle about, Doué when he's at Rennes. We need to start grabbing these players before they become, not even that they become household names, because literally thousands of people, millions of people around the world are watching these leagues, but before they get to a certain level, and because we're not going to rise up the bread required for such. We're not, Declan Rice is, you know, an exception rather than the rule. Willock cost 25 million, worked out well for us despite his injuries. Willock done his thing, man. It's just a shame with injuries. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, not even unfortunately, Newcastle have got, since Willock walked into now, the man have got better, brought in better players. It is what it is. Good player, man. Sell Calafiori or Kivior to Atalanta and bring Lookman, add 10 to 20. I'm not letting Calafiori go. I actually don't want the only exception with Kivior is if he says I want to go. If he doesn't say anything, he stays. I just think with Kivior, he's looking at it at, I'm playing centre half. I'm getting my form again. It's a World Cup year. I want to play. Like I'm that guy. Like I'm remembering myself. I did well against Real Madrid. Saliba's the one that made mistakes. He might think, do you know what? Maybe the gaffer's learned to rotate. Maybe he, whether he's deluded or not, you actually want him to think like this. Maybe he thinks I can keep Magalhaes out of the squad. Maybe he even thinks he can bully Lewis Skelly or someone for left back. I just think he's gone, you know what? It's been romantic, but in the last 3 years, this has been the only time I get my run in the side. The first year I joined, Rob Holding was getting games before me. Cool, I was new. Maybe the gaffer weren't convinced of me in training. The year after that, only really got my opportunity when there was injuries. The year after that, which is the one that's just gone, only got opportunities. He might say, you know what? I love being at Arsenal, giving it a fair crack. I want to go and play regular football. I want to play 5, 10, 20, 30 games a season. You're not going to get that at Arsenal. Just like Martinelli, he wasn't well known when we signed him, and now he's worth a few million more. Who are you referring to in that regards? Gyökeres and Eze. I'll be amazed, man. And I hope Berger can change things, but are we the club that's going to shell out 60 odd million on Eze, 60, 70, 80 on Gyökeres? So that's what just my maths is poor, but just under 100 or just over 100 million on two 27-year-olds. I'm not saying I'm not on that, but we know how our club operate. There's a big emphasis on resale value and all of this. For me, I wouldn't be against it because we've lost a lot of experience. Now, I'm exaggerating, but there's 18-year-olds that probably have a lot more experience than certain 23-year-olds. So experience doesn't always come with age, but I am wary of Jorginho and Partey going. Zubamendi's 26. I imagine and you've played in the champs and for your country, there's experience there. Norgard, there's experience there. A couple of other players that have had on-the-job learning experiences at our club, and obviously people we've brought in. Eze's got his own experiences as well. Like, you can't negate the championship and playing in the Premier League. Gyökeres the same with Sporting in the championship and all of those things. So I am wary of that. Bring them in, man. Bring them in. I can't believe we ain't got 100 likes, man. You lot of shit, man. But if you've hit the like button, one love. Sorry, Tavares must be doing something good. Apparently, market value is 28 million. I keep telling people that Italian league, I like it. The Italian league, I like the players, but I see a lot of players that stock wasn't high enough. At least they go there, they start bagging. Pensioners by footballer standards go there, start bagging. Crap defenders go there, start being held in high regards. I'm telling you, there's something in that league. There's something fugazi going on over there. Just type in Fabio Capello. You'll see what I mean. Chelsea leftover can offer mad value. Injury prone, he'll get cooked at left back. No pace. Keep Kivio and sell Calafiori. I disagree, but we'll see. And to be honest, what's the point selling Callum? We're not going to make no bread. Why do you think top clubs have not swooped up Osimhen? For me, out of the available strikers, he's the most certified and the most experienced. Don't buy the wages excuse. I don't know. It must be one of those. Yeah, I'm with you because I really don't know. I really have no clue. It's got to be one of those where I don't know if it's an analytical thing or it's agent talk or coach. It's got to be one of those things that if you're in the world of football, rightly or wrongly, you know. But to us as normal fans, who knows? I do think it's the finances. I don't think people want to pay the transfer fee, his agent commission fees, and probably his wages. And maybe, some of you always say that, he's got a bad, me, for obvious reasons. I don't want to do the bad attitude thing, but he's got a bad attitude. Maybe it's just not worth the risk. I have thought that, though, with Osimhen, and I'd say Ivan Toney. When them players, it just looks like you're going to make a move. It could be injuries as well. It has to be Rodrigo Leao on the left. Eze to rotate at number 10, maybe, mate. Also want Gyökeres. Arnold, I can't see us getting Rodrigo or Leao, though, man. And I can't see us buying Eze purely to just be a rotating 10. But then again, Eze gives us a lot to flex with because I do think you'll see Odegaard, Rice, and Zubamendi. But then there's scope to have Zubamendi and Rice as multifunctional 8s, maybe 2 6s, maybe take one of them out. There's even scope to have Rice as an 8, Eze as an 8. Probably in games, like in a couple games, we're going to dominate. But you could have Eze as an 8, Odegaard as an 8. Mr. Wanyeri as an 8 or probably as a 10. I don't think I'm going to see this on a consistent basis, but we need the ability to pivot, which we haven't shown previously, man, which I hope we prove ourselves wrong. Nusa or Bakayoko, DG. Out of the two names you said there, I'd rather Nusa. Seems like more of a thinker's man's footballer for me. I do like Bakayoko, but he plays a bit too much on instinct. I think we've already got Martinelli for that. Sesko trolling. Road to 70k, smash the like, people, and subscribe. Come on, Michael, big up yourself, because without fail, you're always in the comments. Forget the live streams, but in the videos, I appreciate that. We shouldn't be accepting leftovers. We're getting ridiculous. I'm past the point now. Am I happy with a lot of our processes? 100% I'm not, but I can't change the recruitment. I can't change the manager. I can't change a lot. So, all right, I have my opinion. I'm just an armchair expert. You lot are the professional decision makers earning thousands and millions of pounds. Make sure there's a parade. If there's not, we'll talk. Arsenal reportedly spent around 220 million on Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe, and Partey. yet recouped a big fat nothing in transfer fees, while 3 of the 4 were signed before Edu and Arteta's tenure. The outcome highlights a period of gross mismanagement of the club's assets. To be fair, though, I would say in isolation, when you're buying Pepe for 70 odd million, which another I told man that ain't gonna bang. In fact, two of my where I became a bit of a devil's advocate on YouTube. I said Lacazette's not the guy. I like him, but he's not the guy. I said Pepe's had a good 18 months. We got zanged, we got fleeced. I was bullish about Partey, I was cool about Aubameyang. But of all those 4 names, at the point of like what Lacazette was signed for 50 odd, which it's changed now, but that was big money, like 50 odd million. That was still at one point big money kind of thing. Pepe 70 odd million if he hit all those variables. Would love to know the actual fee that Pepe actually hit. All of them names you said there, when we bought them, 45 million Partey, Pepe 70 odd. Don't even remember how much Aubameyang, but Aubameyang, Lacazette, those 4 names in isolation, you're not expecting to get bread back. Essentially, it's like Alisson and Van Dijk at Liverpool. You're not expecting to make your money back on that. That is the only way you make your money back is winning. I think where that highlight stuff is kind of what you're alluding to, in that we're not a good selling club. We're not. We're getting too much pennies. People are walking out the door. Partey, nobody ain't paying nothing for Partey, in it. Like nobody's paying for Partey at his age now. Nobody's giving bread because of his wages. If he was on a Nordgaard type of timing, then fair play. But yeah, other than Kepa, no more Chelsea players. If they want to sell Caicedo, why not, man? Pepe would be a good pickup for Prem clubs. Fulham, Forest type move. I hear it. I don't believe we've been linked with Pepe for time, man. We need Eze, Rodrigo, and Gyökeres. Can't see it though, man. I'd love to be proven wrong. If after all this we buy Watkins, boys, wouldn't be against us. 100 likes, please. Come on, DG community and family, hit the likes. You always say, "Oh, I want Patreon page, we want exclusive content, we want members content." Hit the likes. Gyökeres will come to the Prem. Will it be Arsenal or another team? In my heart, I think we get Sesko. Like, how can I have an educated guess? Because who am I? I'm just a fan like you lot. I just feel Sesko's the one we want. I don't feel Gyökeres ends up at the carpet. I really don't. Gyökeres moving mad. He split up with his girl. This man really trusts Arteta. Boy, 80 million euros is more than fair for Gyökeres. I don't blame Sporting for fleecing. Get your bread. Would you take Asu Fati? Nah. This ain't the rehab home. Wishing you and Pogba all the best at Monaco, though. And do you know what? Monaco might be a good football manager save. DG, don't you think it's a little naive to want the club to open a checkbook when Lyon just got relegated for overspending beyond their means? They also have an American owner. No, I don't, because Arsenal have made a big case of living within their means. We're one of the most profitable clubs. All these journalists tell us we're nowhere near PSR. I don't think anybody is asking us to spend 500 million. We're asking you to address all areas and spend on quality. You've been saving a lot. You know, at the end of the day, no matter how much money you save in life, yeah, and it's good to be prudent, to have savings, to, you know, handle responsibility at home. I don't know about anyone else, but I have a couple of friends. I've got friends that don't wear flashy stuff, but you go to their house is nice, mortgage is paid off, all of those things. That's what I'm on. And I've also got friends who haven't, you know, their living standards is a bit dodgy, but they've got nice clothes and whatnot. At the end of the day, no matter how much you save your bread, you can't take it to the grave. Spend some bread. You found money to buy Kai Havertz. Declan Rice. When you're spending big money, it's too mixed. It's too mixed. I think Partey worked out, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of baggage with Partey. I can't say, was it a quality signing? In terms of ability, yeah, there was a lot of baggage. 65 million on Kai Havertz, we fleeced ourselves. There's been money to spend, whether it's been a 65 million on Kai Havertz or it's been sums that you're not looking at it mad, but when you add it all up, there's bread. No one ain't asking the club to do a madness and not be within your means, but you're at this stage now where you evidently need to buy quality. If you can do the Liverpool thing where you find a Mane at Southampton, you took the chance, or you can find a Salah no one's talking about, great. If you can find an Isaac when he's at Sociedad before he becomes this Newcastle one, if you can find them stars of tomorrow, I'm on that. But if you don't do that, and then we're not getting Isaac, but for argument's sake, you see Anthony Gordon and Isaac, 2 players we've been linked with at Newcastle. You see Rodrigo now at Real Madrid. There's several other examples. Once they get to a point and they've got a certain stature in the game, put the bread down. If you do neither, we're talking about the same things. And we don't need much. Yes, we do, because we need a lot of squad depth. And if I'm honest with you, let's cut the bullshit, man. Oh, what we need to address isn't necessarily anything new from a tactical point. Low blocks, changing things in game, moving the ball a bit quicker, penetrating central areas, pivoting beyond set pieces. We knew all of this the season before the one that's just went. Striker ain't replaced Aubameyang. Left wing, we knew from the year Martinelli had a great season. All of these things are stuff we knew we needed to address. Even if I said at the very earliest January, because you was open to getting Ollie Watkins. Fair enough, he was offered to us. Go and do what needs to be done. We keep hearing about war chess and X Factor and this, that, and the other. Rise up the X Factor brothers then. That's all we're asking. We have to win big trophies, but let's play MLS and Lewis Skelly in the 6. Even Rice couldn't hack it at the topmost levels. At the topmost level versus PSG, but Miles Lewis Skelly can do it. To be fair, Lewis Skelly's in midfield anyways, man. I don't care where Lewis Skelly's at. If you're going to be a midfielder or a left back, who cares? Just as long as you're on the pitch in the squad, you're doing your thing. 10% votes, no against SA. They are not very wise, are they? Cobes, everyone's allowed an opinion, man. Everyone's allowed an opinion. DG, we got another Chelsea reject coming your way. Take good care of him, Maduki. I can't lie. As I said, the only thing that makes me a bit nervous is because of our track record. Like, it's not an Arsenal transfer window recently. If we don't buy a Chelsea player, Sterling on loan, Kepa's arrived. Jorginho was a bit better than the rest of the scraps that we got. So that gives it. But I just think it's too easy to link Madueke, Nicholas Jackson, and Nkunku for obvious reasons. And if we get them, it's not serious. Arteta, Berta as well. If you sign Madueke, that's one thing and one reason to be vexed. Even though I don't think he's a terrible player, I'm not going to lose my shit. If you get him in, if you get me Eze and do everything you need to do, and Madueke's here, I'm not happy with it, but cool. If you spend 50 million British pounds on Madueke, say no more on that. Martinelli is so frustrating because with some adjustments he can be legit. I've accepted Martinelli for what he is, my guy. You're on the bench, tired legs. You can come on rotation. It is what it is. Martinelli should be converted into a fullback. You're even mad. Berta the kind of guy to just drop 4 players on you, chill with him. Giroud already left US, replacing David at Lille. Good move back to France for him. Still got something to offer in the European game. And to be honest, with that move for Giroud, clearly must be scheming on one last hoorah in the World Cup with France. Obviously, France are littered with talent, but one thing about Giroud is he's very different. We asked, unpopular opinion, Arsenal we would love Giroud would cook in this current team. I'm not saying I want that, I still want the others, but Giroud would cook. Giroud would be better than anything we've seen, even when Gabriel Jesus was in his great form, Marino's purple patch, Kai Havertz. He'd be better than all of them. If Rice got injured, DJ, are you happy with the Dovert pivot options in terms of mounting a serious title challenge? Zubimendi, Nordgaard, Marino. It's dark. Because I think if that happens, naturally, the reality is, like, God forbid, but let's just assume Rice is injured and everyone else is available. I think Kai Havertz goes in the 8 before Marino. And to be fair, I'd rather Marino play in the 8 than the 6. I like Marino. You're just too slow, man. They told us be excited. Show us reasons to be excited. Sell Martinelli. There's no point telling me a rave's good if I get there and there's no gal, the music's dead. But if I go there and I'm seeing Jones, then I'm going to get excited, innit? So show me. And I can't take the club's words. I'm not even on a negative or positive thing now. Like, I'm seeing for what it is. You know what we need? Go and get it. If you don't get it, make sure we do what needs to be done in May. Because conversations need to be had. Transfer fee on Havertz is whatever we overpaid by 10, 15 million because Arteta wanted to play. The wages is the real issue. All of it's an issue, bro. And that's where, if Arteta wants another kind of Kai Havertz one, which I don't want to lead a pylon, but you didn't really fix anything, if I'm honest with you. I don't think Berta is signing this done for 65 million and putting him on those wages. Arteta shouldn't have been... Cool, people can get things wrong. Shouldn't have been identifying. That should have never been on our recruitment thing anyways, if I'm honest with you. How Edu... I don't know, man. Chelsea must have paid Edu. They both fucked up. That's why I want Berta to push back. If there's another Kai Havertz one, okay, if it makes sense. I wouldn't cry if you got him for 20 million or whatever and he's in the squad. But it has had a knock-on effect. I think there's too much of a pile-on with Kai. No one put a gun to his head, to his head, to Arteta and Edu's heads for him to sign for us or to sign for that money. I would have done the same. If I'm honest with you, bar the usual suspects, it probably tells you the situation we're in. Yes, Kai Havertz misses a lot of tap-ins in which, hey, if we're relying on Kai Havertz to be our clinical striker, what are we doing here? He's pulled his weight a lot more than a lot of his attacking colleagues. That is the brutal reality of it. I need Berta to be the David Dean to Wenger if Arteta was that. You're moving mad. We're not doing that. If you want him and the deal makes sense, safe. Because let's not act like Arteta. Woe is me. There's been bread that's been spent, bro. You got 50 million to buy Benjamin White off the back of one season. Mashed up our transfer record with Declan Rice, which I'm excited about. Expensive free transfer with Willian. 65 on Havertz, 30 odd on Marino, 30, 40 odd on Fabio Vieira. Nobody's stupid here. We know signings go wrong, but let's not act like there hasn't been bread. And if we want, and I have to judge it harsher because the margins are tighter and tighter from being a team that's in the Champions League, and you might beat a Real Madrid and City in a top 6 record and stats to waffle about. If you want to go to the next level, we need to stop reinventing the wheel now. Get me a winger who can take people on a strike sphere, and teams don't know what should we get 3 players against Saka or 3 players against this new guy, and he's going to shoulder some of the burden. Get me a striker that we can believe can score those goals. Get me my depth. Pattern up the midfield, do what you need to do from a tactical point of view to evolve and make us a non-predictable. That is putting our best foot forward. And then however things play out, they play out. But I've never felt like we've exhausted everything we need to exhaust, man. How is a man complaining about the party whilst we're in the car and the way we got to relax? Yeah, I hear it, man. But then, man, you see, the ones that always complain about parties, the minute they see Batty and Breast, they're calm, bro. Again, ladies, allow me, but this is the birds and the bees here, mate. Very true. Havertz is on 270, 280. We could have got Alvarez or Sesko as a second strike. And again, I got no beef for Havertz because I don't think you're going out there to fuck up. I actually think you've been better than people getting credit for, but that you're not the guy. You can't shift him on because he's on big wages and common sense. Not that anybody's watching anyone. If you are, I'm not saying everyone's going to get Kai Havertz money, but if you're Gabriel Magalhaes, who signed a new deal, William Saliba, Bukayo Saka, even Miles Lewis-Skelly, any potential new signings, you're going to say, "Rah, well, he's getting X amount. If he's getting 200 odd, and I'm a young 18-year-old, I must be able to get 100k. Saka, I must be able to get 300 bags." And this is why it's crucial to look after the wages. That is the only benefit beyond the obvious and the off-field stuff with Partey going, and that's 200 off the wage bill. Have to flog Nelson. He's on 100 odd grand. I love Nelson, but he has to get flogged. Tierney, that's another one on 100. We've actually seen reports that go as high as say 200 for Zinchenko, but he's on big piece. He needs to cut. Anyone that wants Kai Havertz or Gabriel Jesus gone this summer, and listen, I ain't no coach, no scout, no ITK, but I think you're very naive. Whether you want them gone or not, they're not gone. And then you throw in unpopular opinion, Martin Odegaard and Martinelli. If you don't start doing the business, we're gonna have to review that. But forget the Alvarez thing. To be fair, I would rather Alvarez than a lot of the names we're linked with, but forget that, man. It's not happening, bro. Just forget that one. Why would you want to leave sunny Spain already? You're living in Spain, which is probably more likened to your life in Argentina. Bag of Argentinian man over there as well. You know, your manager's Argentine. I'm sure your wife or girlfriend's happy because, you know, and your kids because they're all cool over there. I'm sure you link up with the South Americans in Spain. It don't make sense. If he ever wants to come back to Prem, give us a call, man. Jesus more of an issue than Havertz because the man can't stay fit, man. It's sad, man. Life is shit, man. Because whatever you say about Jesus, one thing that is upsetting is he was really getting into form when he got that first injury the World Cup year. And then obviously by then we're kind of at where we're at with him, but he was bad couple goals against Crystal Palace and then he went down against United, and it is where it is. There's been some rumors we're going to give him an extension. Absolute madness. Aye, DG2, you're going to lose your mod if you keep promoting channels that are not ours, you know. I'm not going to lie to you. That's second warning. I love Havertz since he signed, but it's a problem when he's one of our club's top scorers for last season and the one before wages are too high. And that's the thing. Testament to Kai, if Kai's pulling his weight in an attacking sense, but even that, we're still seeing him fall over the ball from 5 yards. And I'm not dissing Kai for that because I've never looked at you as a goal scorer. If we are putting the burden on you to score goals, or if you're carrying the mantelpiece a lot more than everybody on a consistent basis, bar Bukayo Saka, there's issues. The season before last year, he was one of our top goal scorers. With injuries, like Bukayo Saka, they were up there for goals. This is not making sense. For the large part of the season, we'll win, we'll get through. But you see, when the games there that really matter, we really need a goal in the FA Cup. The last 2 FA Cups years now, Liverpool and United. You see, when you're in the games against PSG, goals change games, first 20 minutes, basic competencies. And I can't even get the players because they're not buying themselves. They've not amassed this squad themselves. We need shooters. And it's not always about how good you are at your best. Sometimes it's about at your worst. How many games can we win when Saka is not happening? There's injuries. How many? Because Liverpool did that a couple of times last year. Salah just bailed them out, or some others. Remember Liverpool against us at the Emirates? We should have won that. They didn't. If you can't win, don't lose one. One opportunity, Between Darwin Núñez, Salah, they done it. It happened. Because I genuinely think you either have to take 6 points off Liverpool or 6 points off City or 4 points off either. And that's why I'm kind of happy to play them in the first 10 games, because no one's going to be fully fit. It's a level playing field. I don't really want to go to Anfield when you're in the groove of the season. To be fair, they're not up there, but United as well, man. So it is what it is. Exactly. Romero's going there, bro. Them man want to go Spain, man. If you put the money down, you never know, but it's not happening. Stranger things have happened. Forget the Alvarez talk. For what it's worth, good player. Last year, I wanted him at Arsenal. Thought that's the one we should have went for. Is what it is, man. I think Jesus will surprise us all this season. Arnold, I hope so, but I think the biggest surprise will be Jesus not getting injured. Now, I accept everyone for what they are. If you're an injury-prone player, I wish you the best and you stay fit, but I accept that. If you've scored goals previously, but you're not doing it now, okay, you're a squad player. I accept that. I'm not looking at what you could be. I need to look at what is. And this is what I mean by not looking at it positively or negatively. I hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Basic competencies. Saka is the only shooter. Big up Wanyeri in the attacking rank. And even that, if you break down our defensive third, middle third, final third, if it was a group project, I feel sorry for Saka because he played his part, but they would have failed their coursework. The midfield, we'll have to see, but generally it's kind of calm. Defense, probably the highest performers of our whole team. Kivio stepped up. Lewis Skelly's brought himself into the ring. Raya's done his thing. Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, we know what they're on. Nobody can talk bad on Benjamin White or Juri and Timber. Unfortunately, Tomiyasu is a no-show and Calafiori can't stay fit, but I like them. So it is what it is, man. Jesus isn't back until January the earliest. So it's a write-off, man. It's a write-off, man. It's a write-off, man. Like and subscribe. Left wing, Rodrigo, Leao. I mean, if it came down to those two players, big up Leao, but I don't think if it was genuinely those two players, both want to sign for us, we got the financial means, I don't think it's a question. Who is Leao? What is a Leao? Arteta would never play Eze left 8. He sees him as a left winger, even though I think his best position is 10. Arteta will not bench Odegaard. Well, your reluctance to rotate and trust players, to bench people, to pull players out, your fixation on certain ideas and being rigid and not flexible, you've lived or died by them. You're going to live or die by them next year. If you don't do things differently, you're not going to get different results, quote unquote. Life's a contradiction. Mikel Arteta has to find that balance of being stubborn to his principles, but evolving. I think you adapted last season by force with the injuries. I don't think you evolved. And last season was the first year where in those moments, like those fine margins, like the 14 games, for example, where some games we should have scored more and it comes down to what we should have done in recruitment, game management, the tactics, especially the knockout stage of the Champions League against PSG. These are now things where I think since we've got into this level now, the lack of experience is alarming now because that is what's harming us. Jesus needs to lead the team. He's getting paid way too much. The club, boy, Jesus ain't holding on to ransom. They paid him that bread. Eze would cook in Odegaard's position 100. Eze is exactly what we need to add more attacking midfield options to create moments. And oh yeah, he's better than Odegaard. And left wing still has to be signed. I don't think we signed Odegaard Eze and a left winger. Just because I don't think it, don't mean it's not happening. But I just can't see it. Verts just went for 116 mil. We are not getting Alvarez or Rodrigo for anything less than 100 mil unless they hand in a request. But even that, no clue on how long Rodrigo's under contract for. But you can scream and shout. Real Madrid are the best at it. You're only leaving on our terms. I think even if Xabi Alonso says to Rodrigo, listen, you're in my plans, but you're not going to get the football that you think you're going to get. I still think he will stay. I genuinely think he'll have that, I'm going to prove the manager wrong. When I get my opportunity, I'm going to take it. I don't think in his heart, and I've never had a conversation with the guy, of course, but I don't think in his heart he wants to cut. Norgard is a leader of experience, which we lack. I don't get all this negativity. I'm not sure what I said negatively, but yeah. Where is Eze playing if we get him? Don't think we'll get the best out of him playing left wing. He's not a natural winger, and he ain't starting ahead of Odegaard. Just get a natural left winger off the left, if I'm honest. But then you can mix and blend and rotate. Berta seems to be looking long-term at the state of the team. I expect a major clear out over the next couple of years. Norgard is not moving the needle. Would be good. Maybe if A got a lead and you give him 15 minutes to defend or whatnot, but we play Bayern, Barca players like Norgard will be in for a day. Hey, I'm past the point of looking at the players. You have brought them in. You have put them in certain roles. Any failings and positives, you're going to have to live or die by them. Why the hell is it only Arsenal players who get injuries from internationals? Don't think that's necessarily true, but we do hate the international break, don't we? Whenever we had to go to the bench last season, we had no one to bring on. Maybe a left back won't change much again. Havertz deserves one more season at least to put his foot down. Bro, Havertz is here until God knows, bro. You're on big money. The manager likes you. You're happy. I'm sure the team like you. It might not be everyone's cup of tea. Lord knows he's not the prettiest footballer to watch. I wouldn't have bought him. But we're at where we're at now. Like, if we are, it is where it is. You're going to be part of the squad, innit? Havertz and Mourinho has to go next year and be upgraded. Nah, we'll see. Arteta is the problem. He's going to have to fix up. Big up DG on holiday now, so I'll catch your streams when I can. Enjoy the holiday, my boy. Would love Eze, love to the chat. Enjoy your holiday, man. Don't listen to me waffling. Go by the pool and get some pina coladas. Hopefully you're at an all-inclusive. Giroud ain't dead. Giroud's not dead. Giroud's not dead. Arsenal's problem is we should have done what Chelsea, and there's no way you can watch football. I'm sorry, there's no way you can watch football and say Giroud's dead. There's no way. There's no way. Chelsea and France did what Arsenal should have done. Giroud's a facilitator. You got the bad boy players, in France's case, Griezmann, Dembele, Mbappe, all of them. Chelsea had Eden Hazard. We want you to be the 20-goal man. There's no way. You can't tell me the way Giroud performed at that World Cup that he's dead. His goal catalogue is superb. Big man with link-up play. Bro, Giroud, anyone that says Giroud's dead is chatting shit. Giroud's not dead. Giroud is not dead. Giroud bops into Giroud is better than anybody up front right now in this Arsenal team, whether they're fit or not. Jesus definitely better than any false nine you can run. Jesus can't score goals. Giroud would even score in clutch moments. Arteta, his former teammate, eating with him from set pieces. Get out of here, man. You're my guy. Get out of here. You can't say Giroud's dead. I understand, because he did. There were some dark, barren runs, which is why I'm saying Chelsea and France did what Arsenal should have done. We've been doing that for years. Players that are good facilitators or good squad players, we try and live or die by you. You're not that. Same thing we're doing with Kai, or did with Kai, because some of you are shameless, you know. Some of you said, oh, if we get a striker last summer, I see the usernames, oh, if we get a striker, where's Kai going to play? Giroud dead. Puskas winner as well. Giroud's career, as much as you can talk about Omri and Anelka and all of those players, even to a degree, Tony Adams with Wenger's work with him, players like Giroud sum up Arsene Wenger's career. Giroud's life is a movie. Do you know how much that man had to fight to be a footballer? He's always had to convince people. He's a league winner with Montpellier, couple FA Cups here, European trophies with Chelsea, won the thing with France, Puskas. But if you was to rise up 20 or better yet, let's say 10, let's not exaggerate, let's say 10 Giroud goals in his 10 Giroud goals, his catalogue is better than Bear Man. Giroud, I'll be astonished if you're not selling your movie, if you're not collaborating with some movie productions about having a movie about your life. He just shouldn't have been the main guy, bro. Look at you lot. You lot are making me defend Giroud. I just can't lie. He missed bare critical chances, but man, I'm living by Giroud. This is the issue. Gallas is a bigger club legend than Giroud. Who's that? Berta will get Gyökeres defo. I hope so, man. Got time for Giroud. Shouldn't have been one of the main guys, man. Squad football is not limited to 11 players. There, squad. You're preaching to the death, man. What did you say? Did you say you would pick Leao over Rodrigo? I think the latter is better. I don't think Leao's better than Rodrigo. I'll be real. Bro, I grew up with Eze, been a baller since school days. He deserves it as well. Top guy, man. Mad claim to fame. What are you saying? You're going to walk past him. You remember me, bro? You saying big friend, yeah? No, I'm joking. Big up Eze. I ain't got sentiment. Listen, I love the fact that he's English. Well, Nigerian heritage, but English. Former Haaland. I love all of that. But I don't care about that. I'll be real with you. Like, I don't care about that. The only thing I care about is I look at Eze. You look like you got good temperament. You kind of put Crystal Palace on your back. You're experienced. You've got competencies that we are lacking. I can see how it adds into the squad. I ain't got time for sentiment. I'm not trying to be positive or negative. I want to see what is. If you can't do certain things, I don't want to hear it, because that's the only way we're going to get over the line. Eze will play where needed. That's why he's in the squad. Oh, he's a baller, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. Partey is never available for the majority of the season. And to be fair, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to believe the minute Partey signs that new deal. I wanted him to stay, but Partey signs that new deal, he reverts back to type. He wouldn't be the first nor the last. The football last season was the most boring I've seen. I'm talking since Wenger joined. 100%. I don't think Fabio Vieira has to be sold, but I can't see him for getting flogged. That's just my hot take. I think Fabio Vieira is in the squad next season in some capacity. If I was him, I need to leave. I need to play more regular football. Odegaard, just like Ozil, was deprived of world-class players around him, bar Alexis and Cazorla. If Gyökeres and Eze and Rodrigo join and Saka stays fit, Odegaard goes to the next level, even higher than 2022-23. I love Odegaard, but I'm past that now of you need this, that, and the third. The same with Martinelli. You lot are good players. Put your big boy pants on and pattern the fuck up. Simple as that. Simple as that. We're carrying too many people, man. And no Spence as well for Spurs. Mad claim to fame. Did they know you, though? If I say, do you know winning ways? I don't know, man. Bro, look at what Giroud's up, bro. Giroud movie. Giroud lived the... I even forgot about Italy and that. Giroud's lived the movie. And I'm a bit of a football romantic. I'm not going to lie. Giroud and Koscielny. Not Koscielny anymore because I don't like the way he left Arsenal. You're a bottle anyways. Rob Holding better than you. Shameless. Eze behind Gyökeres would be lit. Hopefully Arteta learns to try new systems in different situations. If not, we ain't winning ish. Again, as you said there, hopefully, but he's going to live or die by that. What do you think about the new additions? Camera in the dressing rooms, interviewing at halftime. I mean, from a fan perspective, I like it because, you know, you throw in social media and everything, we're there. But as a footballer, I wouldn't like it because you're in the middle of a game. Emotions are heightened. People are onto you because, again, I'm only 30. But in the early part of my life, you would really get, like, footballers, you might get slagged off on TV, the newspapers. That's it. If you played shit, like, it's Monday, right? If I played crap over the weekend, let's just say yesterday, Sunday, I played crap, I'm going to hear about it for the next 2 weeks. And now, I just know if my team's losing, I don't want to be interviewed. My emotions are like I'm trying to focus on the game, and people are human. People can make mistakes. Next thing you know, I got attitude problem. I got this, I got that, and the third. That's a player. If I was a manager, you don't want that. I can never be jealous of. I don't know what's going on. I can't be jealous of a next man being friends with man. That is crazy, but fair play, lad. Fair play. Afternoon, I voted no for Eze. Shock horror because under Arteta will play him as a left winger, as Odegaard will not be rotated. They're going to be tough times with Arteta at the helm. Do we have a realistic chance of winning anything next season? So far, I don't think so. Should the manager move, then he's not going anywhere just before pre-season stop. I have us as down as third in the Premier League. I hope we can. I can be proven wrong. Champions League, I've got no real expectations, but like let's just try to get to the semi-finals and beyond that as a minimum. We're Arsenal, need to be bringing the FA Cup. Not going to cry if you don't win the League Cup, but you're in it to win it. And I think this club has been starved of silverware, and these players need to get comfy with going to Wembley and winning. So I don't know, man, but need to. Giroud's career has been objectively better than Henry. That can't be Henry. That must be Henry still. That must be Henry. I mean, I don't know for Giroud's looks, but crazy. That must be someone called Henry. It must be Carl Henry. That must be a next person, man. These new camera garbage from the PL is atrocious. Why are there not more cameras on the pitch? And we don't know if the ball goes out of play. All these cameras, are they recorded in 8K? It's just more nonsense. And to be fair, man, it's just TV companies. They're just trying to cling on to viewers. Everybody's tired of getting fleeced for these. We're paying a lot of money for these packages and we're not getting nothing. Big up everyone using them dodgy fire sticks. Prem proven is BS. Isaac wasn't Prem proven. Fernando Torres was at Liverpool and was toilet for Chelsea. Yeah. Oh, you're from South? Man said he knows 21 Savage's dad, you know. Henry, you know. I don't know about the objective thing. DG, tactically, how do you make Eze work for Arsenal? Like, just slap on the pitch, cuz. I'll be real with you. Slap on the pitch, bro. Like, just slap on the pitch. Oh, if you like, bro, I'm not being funny. It's football. As much as it's complicated, it's football. You're on the left wing. Cool. Get to know your teammates. There's going to be times you have to hug the touchline. Drift inside, link up with Odegaard. You know, Rice is going to make those runs. Lewis Skelly's going to invert. Just play in the pockets. You're going to be able to drift inside. Naturally, if he's playing left wing, and he's drifted inside, there's going to be times Rice, maybe not hug the touchline, but just make a run to that left-handed side. It takes someone with you. Just do that. As much as football's complicated and it's all systemic, there's an element of us overcomplicating this thing, you know. Yeah, no, big up everyone, man. Listen, everybody is fleecing us in this day and age. So it's about time the people rise up. Yeah, man. Oh, there's a comment that's gone. Where is it? Man talking like Giroud didn't kill our title charge with his wastefulness. He did, but that doesn't mean he shit. Who, again, If you are going for a title charge with Giroud up front, yes, he has to take responsibility. That's your fault. If you're going into must-win games with Kai Havertz and living or dying by him missing chances, that is your fault. That is literally your fault. You're going to gunfire to a war with a blunt butter knife. That is your fault. That's literally your fault. It's jarring. Give me the quad. We need it so we can party all summer next year. Wash away some of the pain from the years of hurt. Big Ox. Eze can play left wing, left centre mid, right centre mid, 10, second striker. Oh yeah, he can play false 9 as well. Wenger never worried about this crap. He just got players and played football. Let's play football. Yo, DG, it's Jerome. This is my business account. Just bigging up the homie while I work. Big up Advanced Animation Academy. Follow him. My business account in depth. Come on. DG Guardiola. I wish. Of course, we know who's the better player, but look at the accolades, DG. I don't care about that. In Henri's case, it don't matter about no accolades. Henri's better than Giroud, but Giroud's achieved a lot. You know, what is he? He must be, I think he's second top goal scorer for France now, but he definitely overtook Henri. He's won the World Cup. He's done best. Honestly, his life is a movie. Like, Giroud's life is a movie. Like, everything he's achieved is a movie. We need a 10 who shoots more. I think Eze is the one, but problem, Odegaard is the captain. If Unai wins the Europa League next season and we haven't won anything next season, we're sacking Emre a mistake, DG? Nope, because Emre needed to go. But I think the bigger question is, you know, what do we do with this gaffer then? I can't understand why Arsenal are making things so complicated. Pay the 68 million for Gyökeres. Why are they going for another project signing? They paid 65 million for Havertz. Backwards. But I was a baller myself. The scouts had a fly in their eye on the day, but I'm telling you now, it was like the RB and Yaya. Swear down. I'll take your word for it. Eze will do the Trossard role, similar players. Ooh, good viewpoint. Good viewpoint, to be fair. Big up yourself, Sniz. That was a silliness. It should have been that. That was a silliness. I remember the Giroud summer because Wenger lied to us and said, "Oh yeah, he's gonna play with Robin van Persie." The minute Robin van Persie left, he's like, "Oh, he's Giroud's his replacement." That's what killed Giroud. On top of the misses. Don't forget, I was at the Emirates 9 times out of 10. I swear there was one year Ozil was looking like he was gonna grab Henri's record, and Giroud's missing bare things. But again, that's your fault. That is legit your fault. Eze plus Gyökeres or Rodrigo and Sesko. Una Emre or Mikel, DG, should he have gotten more time? It would have been nice to see Emre work with some of the luxuries that Arteta's had. I do feel sorry for Una Emre because the first one that comes through the door, it's not the same, but look at the figure you're replacing. You're replacing Arsene Wenger. It's like David Moyes at United. Like, you should avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. I think Arteta's been given a lot more luxuries, but Emre needed to go, bro. Like, Emre needed to go. Arteta's been better for us than Una Emre. The only issue is Arteta is shown as we've moved away from the rebuild and all of that, and it's now about getting over the line. He's shown an inability to do that. And at some point, if we keep finding ourselves like in the last 3 years, it's been 3 very different domestic seasons, but the commonality is we finish second. You've got to at some point try something different. I'm buying Martinelli stocks this season. Huge spike incoming. Remember, he was frontline. Martinelli don't come back. When you see my guy get, all right, cool. Wait, score goals this season. Double figures in all comps. I got scared. I was gonna guess it. I got scared. Eze in the 10. 1 Pep, 2 Slot, 3 Howe, 4 Areola, 5 Frank. Who are you referring to? What are you referring to there? I think Eze outshines Odegaard in that 10. I like the way he arrives late in the box, always apart from the attack. I just think Eze's mentality is a bit better, man. Like, I like Odegaard. You don't know I'm a fan of Odegaard, but he's soft, man. Like, when the chips are down, I need guys that are on this now, man. That's the only way we're going to get over the line. We got a couple guys that are down for the cause. We need more than that. We need a lot more than that. So it'll be interesting to see, man. Double figures, clip it. Yeah, double figures all comes, man. Don't let me down. You lot better pray, because I will be unbearable. You don't make, please, pardon me, please don't make Martinelli have a remontada, or what I coined the phrase, rotonda next season. Please, for you lot's sake, please. I'll be unbearable. I told man, word to rants, I'll be here. I will be here. Just please, for you lot's sake, please. Why don't we get some Barca players? They need to sell. Dalsco, it's funny still. Yes, Arteta should have been sacked ages ago. He should have never got the job. But hey, I don't even think if you don't win silverware this year or this season coming that you're going to get sacked. Like, this is why for me, I'm not angry. I'm not sad. It's just support my team now. I'll always voice what I feel is right and wrong, but they're not on what I need them to be on. So what am I going to get angry? I can't, as much as football means the world to me, and I'm not trying to sound defeative, I literally can't change anything. I can scream, shout, shake it all about. I just hope that we try different things, because if nothing changes, people. 4 p.m., which is in just under an hour, I'm going live again. So yeah, man. On that note, though, I want you lot to have a bit of a break, man. So I appreciate you lot as usual. Those of you who've hit the like button, subscribe, the silent viewers, the supporters, etc., etc. Without you lot, the platform is dead, people. So yeah, man. And obviously tomorrow will be a new month. So happy July in advance. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. I don't know why people are lying in the comments, but yeah, hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you lot in a bit, man.
Like